will always come at a cost.
We will eat both your arms and then both of your legs, and then we will eat your face right off your head. You will be this armless, legless, faceless thing, won't you? Rolling down the street like a turd in the wind.
What the hell are you?
We are Venom.
Oh, I have a parasite. Yeah. Name is Chen.
Anytime you're ready.
What a great movie. I mean, just another addition to this Marvel MCU and everything that's been happening and the universe with all these characters. How does it feel to be bigger than just a regular movie where you could have action figures and video games that ends up being, you know, spin-offs from the title? Do you ever think about that when you're acting in a movie like this?
Well, merchandise and platforms and stuff like that. I think all the glitters isn't gold in some aspect. When you get involved in something, I go in personally just for the story and for the work and the character and keep it and the team and not try to focus on the output or the options that are coming with the variables. Obviously, the bigger the piece like this, you know, there are massive platforms and levels of, you know, optionality from games through to toys through to, you know, Del Taco mugs or whatever with you know your face on them in character, and that's output. The input is still, you know, what's the story, what are the characters, you know, what the job that we have to do to pour ourselves into it to make it, to lift it up and make the best of the opportunity that's being presented to us. So those kind of pressures, or is the further end of the spectrum, say to the fans who expect Venom to be there and it to be a really honest and orthodox traditional Venom.
Yeah. So I guess it's like, you know, you can have all the toys you want. If the movie's no good, then
no one will buy them.
Yeah.
So.
that's the short of it. Then. I want to know a little about your acting process and like how do you, because y'all both does such a great job in getting into characters and becoming these characters. Is it a similar process each time when you get a script and you start trying to break down who this character is and how you're going to portray it, or does it change with every character, so to speak?
Yeah, I actually wanted to chat to you about that because we haven't spoken about that in a long time. Like how you're, do you do it the same way generally now every time, or do you do it differently every time?
Everything is different, but it's the same checklist. So, but it's by osmosis now. I like it, as opposed to if you want to go to class and we want to train, then we can go through that for years. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm a geek. You know what I mean? In that aspect of
what your
optionality is.
Of the checklist, what
it's
your
that
fundamentals.
osmosis. Okay, if I'm really brutally honest, I'll read something, I hear it, I see it, then I spend the rest of the time until the day of the that we have to shoot it in trying to create what I can feel and see from the first read, and then make that manifest. And then I use now sort of playback specifically to see if I'm zeroing in the character in the area that I want it to be. And that's after doing it for about 15 years. Do you know what I mean? I've simplified it into, okay, my first read, then trying to make manifest that, and then that's the pickup point to then push it to go further. If we're in theatre, then it gets hot, you know what I mean? And then there's the ensemble, then there's team, then there's alchemy. So there's a bunch of techniques there, but it's basic. I'll read it, hear it, see it, and try to emulate what's in my imagination.
It's that's a great question. People haven't really asked us that, and it will be something that I want to continue talking with you about that.
It's a technical question.
It's something that I feel keeps evolving. I don't deliberately go into every project going, well, this one I'm gonna approach differently. I'm gonna prepare for differently. But inevitably, the project will tell you in some way, something in the process, in the team, in the amount of time you have to prepare, will mean that it is always slightly different every time. So as much as I like to always try and have certain basics of a checklist of like, I'm going to go through the script like this, I'm going to do research like this, I'm going to kind of draw my personal, find scenes where I can, do this, really connect with it, find, and all this kind of stuff. The checklist certain things will fall off and certain things will come to the fore
Yeah.
for different projects based on what the working conditions are, what the character is, what the co-stars are, if you've got rehearsals or not, you know.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. You go in with a template, but every project comes and like sculpts its own unique shape from those raw ingredients.
Yeah.
And alchemy, and you can't
Yeah,
account for alchemy.
that's the thing I'm
Yeah.
trying to learn the most. The more I act is like actually you don't really control it, you know.
Yeah.
Or at least your work is at its best when you're at peace with that. You're not trying to control it, really.
Right.
I've always believed that space exploration is crucial in our quest to cure everything that ails us here on Earth.
So I have to ask, how does that work? You know, exactly the Life Foundation thing. How does it, I don't know, how does it go about, say, testing pharmaceuticals?
Eddie, we're talking about the rocket here.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about the allegations. It says that you recruit the most vulnerable of us to volunteer for tests that more often than not end up killing people.
Eddie.
They never got to work out.
Thank you very much.
We're not finished.
Yes, you are, Mr. Brock.
Is that a threat?
Have a nice life.
Eddie's character has this obsession that interferes with his relationship. And I imagine that both of you, like, because it seems like you put so much into your work as an actor that it must be obsessive at times, the amount of work that you do to your craft. How do you keep that from messing up your personal relationships and things that's going on, your obsession for your craft?
The work-life balance is key for any professional. Do you know what I mean? I think you ask that question of anybody, whether it's a dentist to a nursery school teacher. Do you know what I mean? If you work to live or you live to work, do you know what I mean? That work-life balance is specifically unique to the individual.
But has that shifted for you, that balance? Because I feel like, you got kids now and stuff.
To be fair, mate, I don't talk about kids, but like the long and short of it is I think if you are choosing a vocation or a practice whereby it's not just a job, you're not punching the clock, you're going to have a hard graft in the beginning, at the early stages to establish yourself. Establishing oneself can take many years, and you have to, at that point you are going to sacrifice things. It's not for the faint-hearted, certain career choices. I'm not serving my country in the military by any means, do you know what I mean? But as an artist, do you know what I mean? You're entering a vocation which is specific, whereby the risk and the sacrifice is like your time, is going to be taken up by, like you say, I wouldn't call it obsession, but by focusing on a specific task. Luckily, with music, it's an individual, it's quite an isolatory aspect of writing, it's quite an isolatory aspect. With acting, it's an ensemble piece, so you got to find teams, do you know what I mean? So you've got to know your own corner and then work with teams. To get on a team is really hard, and then to work your way up, so it's a bit top heavy. And it does interfere with your private life, but
Well, man, I love seeing you guys on screen. Maybe we can talk more about the movie. Everybody's going to see it, but I'm glad we got to talk about acting.
Yeah, man, great questions.
Yeah, great questions, yeah.